One of the many things that I have learned in my position as Senate President is the ability to try and keep an open mind. Not everybody has the same ideas, and when you think of something, not everybody thinks of it in the same way. So if you have that opportunity just to sit down with somebody, grab that cup of tea, and actually talk to them and listen to where their side of the issue may be, of where they're coming from, it's amazing how that will open up a whole lot of new perspectives.
I came to Southern Arizona in 1973 along with my family. My dad was career Air Force, and so Southern Arizona has been my home for a lot of years, and so Arizona has just been my home, and I love it. Beautiful weather, just gorgeous. I mean, if I want to go see some snow, I go to northern Arizona. If I want to go to the ocean, I just drive a few hours. So Arizona is a perfect place to live, and I hope to spend the rest of my life here and to serve my constituency.
Before I ran, we didn't have a representative who actually knew our communities. There are about 1,000 homes here on the reservation, and I actually am connected, and I know each and every family. I could go down the street and we could go there, and I can tell you what family lives there.
My favorite thing about Arizona, I get choked up a little bit, you know. Arizona's my home. You know, I have relatives all over this great state. Yuma, my hometown, Flagstaff, the sheep herding community up there, and the mountains. And my favorite thing about Arizona is not only its beauty, but it's my home, and I'm proud of Arizona.
Well, I served 22 years in the Marine Corps, so when I retired, it was a big, huge void of, if you're in the military for that long, you're accustomed to always having a mission. To be involved is a blessing. It's an honor to serve, and you know, I'm very humbled every time, you know, when I ran for office, when I ran for city council, and then of course the House of Representatives, and of course the Senate. You know, I'm very humbled every time I get reelected, because it means people are actually putting faith and trust and confidence in me, and it's an honor to serve. And whoever forgets that, they're really running for the wrong reason.
I ran for the Arizona Senate to serve my country again and to abide by the Constitution, to support Northern Arizona. I love Arizona's rugged individualism. We are entrepreneurs and farmers and ranchers who are not afraid to take risks to make Arizona better for our families.
Yate, I am Senator Jamesita May Beishlke. My favorite memory is the day I was sworn into the Arizona State Senate in 2017. My entire family was there, my father, my maternal grandmother, and it was something beyond their wildest dreams and almost incomprehensible for my family and our people to have an Indigenous woman become their leader. Ikihat.
I think one of the things I'd like my colleagues to know about me most is that oftentimes I do give off an air of maybe lightheartedness, and oftentimes not being as serious about specific issues. But I can guarantee you that there is nobody that's a bigger stickler for the actual details and the actual rules of the place and how a place functions. Efficiency is something that really matters to me.
My biggest hope for this session is that we all work together peacefully and respectfully, remembering the rules of decorum, parliamentary procedure, that we do this and treat the office and each other with the greatest respect possible. That is my wish. I look forward to getting started.
I'm a mom. I'm actually a law professor here at the University of Arizona, and I wanted to support public education. And I also wanted to bring in the research and the insights of this fabulous research university to make sure that, we had the brightest minds working on Arizona's issues. So I feel like something of an ambassador, both to promote public education and to bring the benefits of public education to bear on our policy that we're making through the legislature.
Best thing about being a senator is the staff and the interns. Some of the most overlooked people that we have, and I said it right from the beginning. I saw that when I was working with Senator Melvin on getting a bill through and working with the staff then, and I wasn't even a senator, I was simply a constituent, but the staff was more than helpful. Well, now that I serve and have served 6 terms, you realize how much more that the staff does.
So one thing I really like about a new session and a new term is you get to see all of the new faces and the new chemistry of legislators, and it just really kind of changes the personality, and that lasts for about 2 years. And it's just, I find it really interesting to see, how people interact and kind of what that legislature is going to be like for the next couple of years.
As a young girl growing up in Buckeye, all my friends had farms and ranches, and that's where I learned to fall in love with agriculture. We started our dairy herd with 15 cows, and today we're milking about 1,100 cows 3 times a day. Being a business owner, a farmer, that my passion grew for policy and how everyday policy affects us right on the farm.
So there's a good reason that I'm the cow milking champion at the legislature. Just look at these girls.
Things I think about when I vote on a bill are my district, my state, and first off is my family, and how does this affect each one of those? And I lay them out, and I discern the good to the bad, and then that's how I make my decision on voting.
I'm really looking forward to 2021. There's so much that we can accomplish together. I know that we're going to fight like cats and dogs over policy at times, but at the end of the day, off the field, we can be good friends. So to my colleagues, looking forward to a good year serving with you.
So I think right now my most important hobby that I've been involved in is doing historical research and trying to learn what's happened in the past, whether that's with our founders or with the state, like down in Tombstone. Absolutely love the history down in Tombstone. So history is so important so that we don't repeat it, right, if it's bad, or that we do try to emulate the things that work.
I didn't set out to run for office. I had no political connections growing up, but an internship experience at the legislature caught my attention and fell in love with the public policy making process. So spent some time after the internship on staff, a total of 8 years, and decided I wanted to throw my hat in the ring out in the Southeast Valley. So resigned my staffing position, ran for office, spent 8 years in the State House, including the last 2 as the Speaker of the House, and now have the good fortune of being a state senator.
For me, one of my favorite memories is getting a chance to visit the schools in my district and my community, getting to spend time with students and teachers and staff and finding out how I can be helpful for them at the legislature and see all the great work that our public schools are doing here in our community.
As I stand here in my old stomping ground, this is where I'm from, Cashin, Arizona, a little town in Avondale. When I speak at the schools and I talk to the kids that come from this small little town that used to be rural, now it's kind of city-ish. When I come back and I talk to them and they ask me questions and I just tell them, I remind them all that I'm just that kid from Cashin. And when they look at me and they see me in a suit and they see me talking to them and they know me as the senator, they don't know me as who I am here in the town. It gives me that thing, those chills inside that these kids are looking at me as someone important, when to me I'm just no better than their father, their mother, their grandparents. But at least it gives them that vision of, you know what, he was from Cashin too.
The most defining moment on why I got involved in politics was actually here on this campus at ASU West. I was the editor-in-chief of the student newspaper. In March of 2002, there was a suicide bombing in Israel. And I was reading the news like I always did, and when I saw that, I literally about fell out of my chair. And I just realized then and there I was going to learn everything I could about that issue, and I wanted to get involved in politics, and that was why.
What I hope to see in the next session is a focus on good policy. I think it's nice that it's not an election year, and so we can come together in a bipartisan manner, and I truly believe this, and focus on good policy. Policy that will help the people of Arizona, help our state, help our businesses. I think that's very doable this year, and I'm looking forward to being able to do that.
I was a very good athlete in high school. I actually played high school football as an 8th grader, so before high school. And I was on all-star teams, soccer teams, but my passion was actually wrestling. As an A personality, kind of aggressive, I guess, it was a way for me to release and relax and enjoy. So here's a picture from high school of me wrestling back in the day when I was 17 and 18 in Syracuse, New York, in that area.
So I decided to run for office after I lost a bet, which is not true. But I like to tell my constituents that because it gets them a giggle. But I decided to run for office long ago when I was a little girl, something that I've always been passionate about. A fun fact about me is I like watching America's Funniest Videos every Sunday night.
I think my favorite thing about the service in the Senate and in the House is the people that I interact with, both in the institution and outside the institution, and most particularly the constituent work we are able to do. I grew up over on 7th Avenue, really a mile or so from here. You see a lot of newcomers and people who've lived here a long time, you know, deciding that they want to be a significant part of our community, and they do it very well.
If my 10-year-old self met me today and just appeared and sat next to me, I think that they would be more proud of the pranks that I've successfully pulled than any career advancement I've ever achieved. I think they would sit and we would reminisce about the great moments in life that brought humor and comedy and maybe a little bit of chaos.
Running for office was definitely not like an overnight decision for me, but it was part of I guess I was part of a bigger movement or organizing movement. I was in college here and I helped get two 26-year-olds elected to the state legislature. And it totally blew my mind about what was possible, what I thought I should be doing. And I got to shadow them and see what their experience was like. And it wasn't just their personal experience, but seeing everybody come together from all over the state to represent the state as they deliberated on issues. And so just seeing people go through the process and getting to the end goal of representing just made me feel like it was totally something I should be doing.
You know, when people ask me what I like best about Arizona, I think for me the fact is Arizona is my home, and it's been home to my family for 5 generations. I believe that Arizona really does exemplify the best of what our country has to offer. We have the most diverse, beautiful landscapes, from Flagstaff to Phoenix and Yuma to Tucson, and the literal 100 cities, towns, and communities throughout Arizona that are rich in culture and steeped in history. I would say that Arizona's landscapes are second only to the diversity and the beauty of its people.
My favorite thing about Arizona is, of course, the people, but as far as anything tangible, it's right where we're standing on the outskirts of the Phoenix Mountain Preserve, which we are so blessed to have in the middle of our city, where you can run or walk or hike for miles and miles and miles in just some of the most beautiful scenery, I think, in the world.
You know, I think this is going to be a year of challenges, and I've always loved challenges. You know, we're at a time in our history where we're facing some extraordinary challenges with COVID, with racial unrest, and I think that that's when leaders rise up and perform their best, is when they're facing immense challenges, and we're certainly going to see that this year. So I'm looking forward to it. I think we can find solutions, and I hope that we can do that this year and find solutions to these challenges.
So I think what I'm looking forward to in this next legislative session is working closely with my colleagues so that we can finally provide some strategic relief for the citizens of Arizona. And in addition, you know, what I'm looking forward to is seeing how Arizonans care for one another during these difficult times and care for each other's families. So there's a lot of work that needs to be done, but I'm really excited and looking forward to going into legislative session and fighting for on behalf of Arizona's families.